Welcome, brave souls, to a realm where shadows whisper secrets too vile for the light. I'm here to unravel tales so chilling that your skin will crawl long after the silence falls. Help me reach my first 1,000 subscribers, hit that button now, and together, let's unearth the horrors awaiting us tonight. It's just another night on the road for me, Daniel Grayson, hauling freight down a lonely stretch of Arizona highway. The hum of my truck's engine is usually comforting, but tonight, there's an unsettling chill in the air. I can't shake this creeping sense of dread that's settling over me like a heavy fog. I glance at my GPS, hoping it'll distract me from these uneasy vibes, but the screen flickers and goes black. Great, just what I need. I pull over, fiddling with the device, trying to get it back online. When it finally reboots, it's leading me off my usual route. I figure I'll just correct it once I'm back on the road. As I get moving again, I notice something odd in my rearview mirror. A group of trucks, all eerily identical, trailing behind me. Their headlights flicker on and off like some kind of twisted Morse code. My heart starts to race. What the hell is going on? Then, my radio crackles to life, breaking the silence with a distorted voice that sends shivers down my spine. Turn back now, it repeats, over and over. I reach to switch it off, but my hand freezes mid-air. Those trucks are still back there, getting closer with every passing second. I need to get out of here, but where do I go? The road ahead feels like it's leading me deeper into this nightmare. I grip the steering wheel tighter, my knuckles white, as I try to focus on finding a way out. But deep down, I know something's wrong. Very wrong. After that terrifying night on the road, I couldn't wait to see the first light of dawn. I pulled into a roadside diner, hoping a hot cup of coffee would chase away the chill that had settled deep in my bones. The place was quiet, just a few early birds and the comforting smell of bacon in the air. I settled into a booth, my mind still racing with images of those flickering headlights and the eerie voice on the radio. That's when an elderly man slid into the seat across from me. His eyes were sharp, like he could see right through me. He started talking about the Convoy, saying he'd seen it before. My heart skipped a beat. He warned me that once they marked you, there was no escape. I tried to brush it off, telling myself it was just some old guy spinning tales. But his words stuck with me, like a warning I couldn't ignore. I finished my coffee quickly, eager to get back on the road and put some distance between me and this whole mess. As I stepped outside, the morning sun felt like a small relief. But that relief turned to ice when I saw my truck. Scratched into the door, in deep, jagged lines, were the words, "They're waiting." My stomach dropped. I looked around, half expecting to see those trucks again, but the parking lot was empty. Shaken, I climbed into my truck and started the engine, my hands trembling on the wheel. Later, I'd find out that the diner's surveillance footage showed me talking to an empty booth. That old man was never there. The realization sent a shiver down my spine. What was happening to me? Who or what was behind this? The roads through Tonto National Forest were winding and isolated, the kind of place where you could get lost without even realizing it. I was gripping the steering wheel, trying to shake off the unease from the diner, when suddenly, my truck started to swerve on its own. Panic surged through me as I tried to regain control, but the wheel wouldn't budge. The truck was driving itself, veering wildly from one side of the road to the other. I could hear the tires screeching, the engine roaring as if it had a mind of its own. Other drivers must have seen it too. Reports later came in of an empty truck barreling down the road, nearly running people off. One witness even claimed they saw me inside, staring straight ahead with a blank, unsettling expression. But I was anything but calm. My heart was pounding, my mind racing as I fought to stop this madness. Then, something caught my eye in the side mirror. I glanced over, expecting to see the road behind me, but instead, I saw a face. It wasn't mine. The eyes were hollow, the features twisted into a grimace that sent a chill down my spine. I blinked, and the face was gone, replaced by my own reflection. But the image lingered, haunting me. The truck kept swerving, and I was helpless to stop it. All I could do was hold on and hope that whatever was controlling it would let go. But deep down, I knew this was just the beginning of something much worse. My truck finally came to a jarring stop in a muddy field off the main highway, deep in the heart of the forest. The engine sputtered and died, leaving me in a sudden, eerie silence. I was shaking, my mind a whirlwind of fear and confusion. What the hell was happening to me? As I sat there, trying to gather my thoughts, a man approached. He introduced himself as Charles Hall, a passerby who'd seen my truck's wild ride. He offered to help, his voice filled with concern. But I was beyond help. I could feel something dark and heavy pressing down on me, like an invisible force. I muttered something about them making me do it, about not being able to escape. The words tumbled out before I could stop them, a desperate confession to a stranger who couldn't possibly understand. Before Charles could respond, a primal urge took over. I needed to get away, to run from whatever was chasing me. I bolted from the truck, my feet sinking into the mud as I dashed into the thick woods. Branches whipped at my face, but I barely felt them. All I could think about was getting away, putting as much distance as possible between me and that truck. Later, I'd learned that Charles remembered one chilling detail. My pupils were completely black, like two dark voids. That thought haunted me as I plunged deeper into the forest, fleeing from a nightmare I couldn't shake. The investigators arrived at the scene of my abandoned truck, parked in that muddy field. The vehicle was locked tight, the cargo untouched. They searched inside, looking for any signs of what might have happened to me. There was no evidence of a struggle, nothing to suggest foul play, except for one chilling detail. Scratched into the dashboard, in deep, jagged letters, was a single word: run. Despite their best efforts, the search teams couldn't find me. Days turned into weeks, and I remained missing. The forest seemed to have swallowed me whole. But then, reports started coming in from hikers. They claimed to have seen a man fitting my description, wandering aimlessly through the woods, his eyes haunted and lost. Meanwhile, the police reviewed the security footage from the diner where I'd stopped for coffee. They were shocked to see my truck pulling into the lot, but the timestamp showed it arriving hours after I was already reported missing. It was like I'd been in two places at once, a ghost haunting my own life. As the days passed, the mystery deepened. Where was I? What had happened to me? The only thing that was clear was that something beyond understanding had taken hold of me, driving me into the heart of the forest, leaving behind nothing but questions and fear.
Years have passed since that nightmarish ordeal, and I'm sitting here in my home trying to piece together the fragments of my life. The police found me in the forest, wandering in a near catatonic state. Physically, I was unharmed, but the terror I experienced left scars that never healed. I couldn't go back to trucking after that. The road held too many ghosts. Now, as I recount my story, the memories flood back like a dark tide. I remember the overwhelming sense of unease, the malfunctioning GPS, and those identical trucks with their flickering headlights. The voice on the radio that warned me to turn back, the old man at the diner who spoke of the convoy, and the chilling message scratched into my truck's door. Then there was the moment my truck took control, swerving wildly through the forest. the face that wasn't mine staring back at me in the mirror. The muddy field where it all came to a stop and my desperate flight into the woods. The hikers who saw me wandering, lost and haunted. Even now, the fear lingers. I can't shake the feeling that something out there is still watching, waiting for the next unsuspecting driver to stray off course. I've warned others, but I know most will brush it off as the ramblings of a broken man. But I know the truth. The convoy is real, and it's out there, lurking in the shadows of the night. So, if you ever find yourself on a lonely stretch of highway and you feel that creeping dread, remember my story. Turn back if you can, because once they mark you, there's no escape. They're waiting and they won't let you go.
It's a cozy evening at my favorite downtown Seattle cafe, and I'm sitting across from Lily, my childhood friend. She's been struggling with her online jewelry store lately, and I can see the worry etched on her face. I've always wanted to help her, so tonight, I came prepared with a plan. I suggest she starts self-promoting her beautiful handcrafted pieces. Lily's eyes light up as I explain how we can set up a social media campaign to reach more customers. We spend hours brainstorming ideas, sipping on our lattes, and laughing about old times. It feels good to see her smile again. As the night winds down, we decide to meet the next day to dive deeper into our strategies. I leave the cafe feeling hopeful, excited about the new beginning we're crafting for Lily's business. Little do I know, a dark turn is waiting just around the corner. It's midnight, and I'm back in my apartment, still buzzing from the excitement of our plans for Lily's jewelry store. I'm uploading a new post to our social media campaign when suddenly, a message pops up from someone named Xavier. He claims to be a marketing expert and promises to skyrocket my business overnight. My heart races with a mix of excitement and skepticism. I can't wait to tell Nathan about this. I shoot him a quick text, and he calls me back almost immediately. He listens intently as I explain Xavier's offer, but his voice is laced with concern. Nathan warns me about online scams, reminding me to be cautious. I appreciate his worry, but there's something about Xavier's message that intrigues me. Maybe, just maybe, this could be the break I need. As I hang up the phone, I can't shake the feeling that I'm standing at a crossroads. Little do I know, the path I choose next will lead me into a darkness I never imagined. I'm sitting at our usual cafe waiting for Lily to show up. We had planned to meet here to discuss more strategies for her jewelry store, but as the minutes tick by, she's nowhere to be seen. I try calling her, but her phone goes straight to voicemail. A sinking feeling settles in my stomach. Worry gnaws at me as I head to her apartment. When I get there, I find the door slightly ajar. My heart pounds as I push it open and step inside. The place is eerily quiet. That's when I spot it. A single pearl earring lying on the floor, broken. It's one of Lily's favorites, and seeing it shattered sends a chill down my spine. Lily's gone. Vanished without a trace. All I have is this broken earring and a growing sense of dread. Something's terribly wrong, and I need to find her before it's too late. I'm at the Seattle Police Department, my heart racing as I report Lily missing. The officer at the desk listens intently, then directs me to Detective Agent Monroe. He's a no-nonsense guy, and I can tell he's taking this seriously. He starts an investigation right away, but after a few hours, there are no immediate leads. Frustration and fear are building up inside me. I know I can't just sit and wait, so I call my friend Alex. He's a skilled cyber expert, and if anyone can help, it's him. I ask him to track Lily's last online interactions, hoping it might give us a clue. Alex gets to work, and it doesn't take long before he calls me back with something big. He tells me that Xavier's profile, The one who messaged Lily is an elaborate fake, but the real shocker is that his IP traces back to an abandoned warehouse district. My mind races with possibilities. Could Lily be there? I thank Alex and rush back to Agent Monroe with this new information. The search has begun, and I'm more determined than ever to find Lily. Every second counts, and I won't stop until she's safe. It's late at night, and I'm back in my apartment, exhausted but unable to sleep. My mind is racing with worry about Lily. Suddenly, my phone buzzes with a notification, a new post on Lily's social media. My heart leaps as I open it, hoping for some sign that she's okay. The post shows a smiling photo of Lily at a rooftop bar, but something's off. Her eyes, they look terrified, not happy. I zoom in and notice subtle bruises hidden beneath her makeup. My stomach drops. This isn't right. Then, I spot a neon sign in the background. It's familiar, and it takes me a moment to realize it matches a nightclub near the warehouse district where Alex traced Xavier's IP. A chill runs down my spine. Could this be a clue? A message from the dark? I grab my jacket and head out the door. I need to show this to Agent Monroe. Every second counts, and I won't rest until I find Lily and bring her home safe.
Agent Monroe and I are at the nightclub, navigating the shadowy back streets. The neon sign from Lily's photo glows ominously above us. We step inside, the music pounding, and start asking around. The employees deny seeing Lily, but a bartender hesitates before admitting he remembers her. He recalls seeing her leave with a man, but he can't give us much more. Agent Monroe quickly gets the CCTV footage, and there she is, Lily, looking uneasy, walking out with someone familiar. My heart sinks as I recognize him. Damian Blackwood, her ex-boyfriend. He was always manipulative and violent, and Lily had cut ties with him years ago. What is she doing with him now? As we zoom in on the footage, I notice something on Damian's wrist, a tattoo. It's the same one Lily once feared, a symbol of the control he used to have over her. Anger and fear mix inside me. We need to find her, and fast. Agent Monroe and I leave the nightclub, determined to track down Damian. We're diving deeper into the abyss, but I won't stop until Lily is safe.
We're at Damian's secluded mansion. The tension thick in the air. The police raid the place, searching every room, but they come up empty-handed. Frustration builds as we find nothing. But I can't shake the feeling that Lily is here somewhere. As the officers start to leave, I decide to take one last look around. That's when I spot it, a hidden door in the basement, barely noticeable. My heart races as I open it, revealing a narrow staircase leading down. I follow it, my steps echoing in the silence until I reach a soundproof chamber. Inside, my worst fears are confirmed. Lily is there, barely conscious, chained to the wall. Her eyes are filled with terror, and it breaks my heart to see her like this. I rush to her side, calling for help, my hands trembling as I try to free her. The monster, Damian, is nowhere to be seen, but we've found Lily. I hold her close, promising that she's safe now. We're confronting the monster, and I won't let him hurt her ever again. We're in the hospital room, and Lily's finally safe. She's been rescued, but the trauma she's endured is clear in her eyes. I sit by her bed, holding her hand, trying to offer whatever comfort I can. She's been through so much, and it's going to take time for her to heal. Damian was arrested, but his connections are making the legal battle tough. It's frustrating to know he might not face the full consequences of his actions, but right now, my focus is on Lily. I won't let her suffer again. I stay by her side, helping her through the nightmares and the fear. We talk about the future, about her jewelry store, and how we'll rebuild it together. I vow to protect her, to be there for her no matter what. This is our path to retribution and redemption, and I'll walk it with her every step of the way. It's a rainy evening in London, 1995, and I'm sitting at my desk, scrolling through an article about Nathan, the rhythm guitarist and songwriter who vanished without a trace. As a music journalist, stories like these always catch my eye, but there's something about Nathan's case that feels different, almost personal. I start digging into his past, piecing together the life of a man known for his poetic mind and haunting lyrics. But the deeper I go, the more I uncover about his struggles with mental health and the controversial statements he made that stirred up the music scene. The last known movements of Nathan are bizarre. He checked out of his hotel, leaving all his luggage behind, as if he was in a rush to escape something or someone. Later, a fan spotted him at a train station, looking lost and confused. The more I read, the stranger it all becomes. It's like Nathan left behind a puzzle, and I can't help but feel compelled to solve it. There's a mystery here, and I'm determined to get to the bottom of it. What happened to Nathan, and why did he disappear so suddenly? The answers, I hope, are waiting for me to uncover them. The next day, I find myself standing outside Nathan's last known residence, a run-down apartment in the heart of the city. The door creaks open to reveal a mess, notebooks scattered everywhere, pages filled with unfinished lyrics, and cigarette burns scarring the furniture. It's like stepping into Nathan's mind, chaotic and restless. I'm here to meet Alice, Nathan's sister. She's eager to talk, hoping someone will finally listen to her side of the story. As we sit among the remnants of Nathan's life, she tells me he wasn't suicidal. Instead, he was becoming increasingly paranoid, convinced that shadows were watching him. He believed the music industry was out to silence him, that they were after his unique voice and the truths he sang about. Alice's words settle over me like a cold fog, heavy and unsettling. The more I learn, the more it seems Nathan's disappearance might not have been as simple as it appeared. There's a darkness here, lurking in the corners of his life, and I can't shake the feeling that I'm just scratching the surface of a much deeper mystery. I'm in Cardiff now, following the trail of Nathan's last known movements. The city feels different, charged with the mystery of his disappearance. I start by visiting the gas station, where security footage captured a man who looked a lot like Nathan. In the grainy video, he seems distressed, his eyes darting around as if he's searching for something or someone. Next, I track down a cab driver who claims he picked up Nathan that night. He remembers it vividly because Nathan was clutching a worn-out novel called The Forgotten Chord. As they drove, Nathan muttered something about erasing the last note, a phrase that tightens my chest with unease. It's like a clue, a piece of the puzzle that Nathan left behind. The cab driver dropped Nathan off at the coast, and that's where the trail goes cold. But I can't shake the feeling that Nathan's words hold a deeper meaning. What did he mean by erasing the last note? And where did he go after that cab ride? The more I uncover, the more questions I have. But one thing's for sure, I'm not stopping until I find out what happened to Nathan. I stand on the coastal bridge, the wind whipping around me as I look out at the churning sea below. This place has a dark history, known for its suicides, and the authorities believe Nathan might have jumped from here. But no body was ever found, and that gnaws at me. It just doesn't add up. As I'm lost in thought, an old fisherman approaches me. He's weathered and wise, and he tells me he saw someone who looked like Nathan on the night he supposedly disappeared. But instead of jumping, the fisherman swears he saw Nathan boarding a boat. It's a glimmer of hope, a new lead in this tangled mystery. Could Nathan have staged his disappearance? The idea sends my mind racing. If he did, where did he go? And why? The fisherman's words give me a renewed sense of purpose. I need to find out what really happened to Nathan, and I'm starting to believe that he might still be out there, somewhere, waiting to be found. 10 years have passed since Nathan vanished, but I've never stopped looking for answers. Then, out of the blue, an anonymous package arrives at my door. Inside, there's a cassette tape labeled Asterisk, Nathan's last song. Asterisk. My heart races as I pop it into the player, the familiar crackle of the tape filling the room. As the music starts, Nathan's voice pours out, haunting and beautiful. The lyrics are a map, hinting at a staged disappearance and referencing places where he was reportedly sighted over the years. It's like he's leaving breadcrumbs for me to follow. The final verse whispers, Asterisk. The echo lives on in the silence. Asterisk, and I feel a chill run down my spine. But it's the end of the tape that sends me reeling. A barely audible voice murmurs my name. Jamie, stop looking. It's Nathan, I'm sure of it. The message is clear, but I can't bring myself to obey. After all these years, I'm closer than ever to uncovering the truth. Nathan's last song isn't just a melody, it's a lifeline. A connection to a man who might still be out there. I won't stop looking, not now, not ever. The echo of his voice, the mystery of his disappearance. It's a song that never ends, and I'm determined to find the final note. I've always been drawn to the stories that linger in the quiet corners of small towns. And that's what brought me to this sleepy village, nestled between dense forests and forgotten railways. The air here is thick with whispers of the Phantom of Raven Road, a legend that's haunted these parts for as long as anyone can remember. The tale goes that on moonlit nights, a faceless figure appears on Raven Road, only to vanish before anyone can get close. Some say he's the ghost of a man who met a tragic end in a terrible accident. Others whisper he's a vengeful spirit, doomed to wander. My curiosity piqued when I heard about a new sighting. As a journalist, I couldn't resist diving into this mystery. That's why I'm here, sifting through the rumors and the fear, trying to piece together the truth. In the town's old newspaper office, I stumbled upon a photograph that sent chills down my spine. It was old, blurry, but unmistakable, a figure with a grotesquely burned face, dated over 50 years ago. Holding that picture, I knew I was onto something. The Phantom of Raven Road was more than just a ghost story. It was a puzzle waiting to be solved. And so, my journey into the heart of this legend begins, driven by the whispers of the darkness and the promise of uncovering a story that's been hidden for far too long. Diving deeper into the mystery of the Phantom of Raven Road, I headed to the town's archives, eager to uncover any clues that might explain the legend. The old building smelled of dust and history, filled with yellowed papers and forgotten stories. It was here that I stumbled upon the tragic tale of Samuel Pierce. Decades ago, young Samuel was just a boy chasing a lost kite near an abandoned substation, but fate had other plans. He was electrocuted, the accident leaving him with a disfigured face that would haunt him for the rest of his life. After that, he lived in seclusion, shunned by the very community he once called home, until he was forced to leave. As I delved further, I sought out the elderly locals, hoping their memories might shed light on Samuel's life. One survivor from that era, now an old man with a gentle smile, shared a story that tugged at my heart. He remembered meeting Samuel as a child, recalling his kind demeanor despite his frightening appearance. It was a stark contrast to the monstrous figure whispered about in the town's legends. The more I learned, the more I realized that the Phantom of Raven Road was not just a ghost story. It was a tale of a boy who suffered unimaginable pain and loneliness. And with each piece of the puzzle I uncovered, my determination to uncover the truth behind the legend grew stronger. Armed with the haunting story of Samuel Pierce, I knew I had to see Raven Road for myself. At midnight, I found myself standing on a desolate stretch of road, surrounded by broken streetlights and thick fog. The air was heavy with anticipation as I waited, hoping to encounter the phantom that had eluded so many before me. Hours ticked by, and just when I thought the night would yield nothing, I heard it, shuffling footsteps cutting through the silence. My heart raced as a hunched figure emerged from the mist, its face grotesquely scarred, just like in the old photograph. But what happened next was not what I expected. Instead of attacking, the figure simply raised a hand, as if asking for help. In that moment, the fear that had gripped me melted away, replaced by a profound sense of empathy. This was no vengeful spirit. This was a soul reaching out, seeking connection in the darkness. As the figure faded back into the fog, I knew my journey was far from over. After my eerie encounter on Raven Road, I knew I needed to dig deeper. I tracked down a woman who had known Samuel Pierce, hoping she could shed more light on his story. She welcomed me into her home, her eyes filled with a mix of sadness and understanding. She told me that Samuel never meant to scare anyone. He walked the roads at night simply to avoid the cruel townspeople who tormented him during the day. Over time, people spun wild rumors, painting him as a monster. But in reality, he was just a lonely soul who found solace in the quiet of the night. The woman's words painted a picture of a boy who had suffered greatly, yet never lost his gentle spirit. She shared one final detail that sent a chill down my spine. Samuel was last seen entering the forest near Raven Road, never to be found again. As I left her home, I felt a renewed sense of purpose. Driven by the need to put the legend of the Phantom of Raven Road to rest, I found myself back on that haunting stretch of road. This time I ventured deeper into the woods, guided by a sense of purpose and the memory of Samuel's story. As I pushed through the underbrush, I stumbled upon an old weathered shack hidden among the trees. Inside, I discovered a collection of Samuel's belongings. Scraps of newspaper clippings about himself, broken trinkets left by kind visitors, and a faded photograph of a happy child before the accident. Each item told a piece of his story, a testament to a life marked by tragedy and kindness. Holding the photograph, I felt a profound connection to Samuel. He was more than just a legend. He was a real person who had endured so much. As I prepared to leave the shack, a gentle breeze stirred the air, and I heard a whisper on the wind. "Thank you for listening." In that moment, I knew I had fulfilled my mission. The truth about Samuel Pierce, the boy behind the Phantom of Raven Road, would no longer be shrouded in fear and rumors. I left the woods with a heavy heart but a clear purpose, to share his story and ensure that his memory was honored, not feared.